creators, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be playing with this die from Spellbinders. So Spellbinders reached out to me and asked me if I would like to create something using this OMG die. Now this die is part of the Aged to Perfection release, which is really an extension of the This Is Life release that came out in January. So I thought, well, this is great because I have teenage grandchildren, and I know sometimes when I tell them something, in their brains they say, OMG, Grandma. But I thought I would make a couple of cards. So one card I did make off camera, and I'll show that to you right now. So here is the card that I made off screen. And I used the OMG die, of course, here, and I cut that out using 3 different cardstocks. So I used like a pattern paper for the outline, and then a solid pink for the main portion of the letters. And then as the background layer, I used a silver cardstock. But for the rest of this card, I just grabbed some pattern papers for the pajama pant legs there, for the backgrounds. And then these dies, these are so cute. They were this is the Cozy Toes. There you go. Cozy Toes slippers. And this one's so cute. I mean, I love it. But to make the unicorn, I used this companion die. It was a large die of the month for October of 2024. And I used Cozy Toes Friends. So, oh my goodness. I just had so much fun making this. And then for the sentiment, so I used OMG and I put, your birthday deserves the coziest kind of celebration. And for that, I just used this clear stamp set, the Cozy Toes Friends clear stamp set. So that was this card, and I think it turned out super cute, don't you? But then I got to thinking, I want to make something a little bit different. So I had to kind of think outside the box, at least for me anyway, because I love pattern paper. So I knew I had a stamp somewhere that had to do with being colorful or making my world filled with color. And I did. I found one that said, you make everything colorful. So I stamped it out in 2 different blues to see which one I liked. So I have that sentiment ready because it's going to be OMG, you make everything colorful. Now what I did here is I have a piece of white cardstock, and let me see if you can tell. Here's the outlines. I cut out a bunch of the outlines just in white cardstock. And then I ran them through my Xyron sticker maker to get some stickiness behind them. Because, you probably guessed already, I'm going to do some ink blending on this panel. So you'll see I have most of them on there. So here's the next letter, and I kind of staggered the OMG, OMG. And I'm also making sure there's no like adhesive sticking out past the letter, because I don't want that to stop my ink blending from happening. So I'm kind of just poking through with my pokey tool here. Then once I have that kind of where I want it, I'm just going to go ahead and place it in its next spot. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to line up perfectly. So OMG is the next one. Again, let me make sure, because like on some of them, even though I burnished these when they came out of the sticker maker, I guess some of the adhesive stuck. Maybe because I had it sitting there for a minute. Okay, so OMG is next. And then one more O. That's good. And I'm just going to put it here. And then I need the center. And then what I did was keep one of the solid pieces that cut out, put it there so that I could line up the center of the O, the middle part, just lay it in there. See? And I have several extras. What I'm going to do with these when I'm done with them, as long as they're still okay to use, I'll just save them in the packaging and use them another time. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm bringing in some of my Distress Oxide ink. It's Hickory Smoke. And I'm just going to do some ink blending on this card panel. So let's take a look, see if this works, because I am doing this with you for the first time. I didn't do a test card first, because sometimes I'll do that when I'm making a card. I'll do a little test run, make sure it works the way I think it does, but I did no test run today, guys, so it's me and you here, just seeing how this comes out. So I chose this gray because I wanted a gray background, since the sentiment does say you make everything colorful, because the background will be gray, but my OMG that's going to stand out is going to be in color. All right, trying not to touch too much of the card panel. I don't want fingerprints all over it. Okay, I think I have this pretty well covered. Look, that I think I had some adhesive here that it's not blending there, ink blending. No. Yeah, I must have had some adhesive I didn't get off. Okay, so now that I've got that ink blended, it's a matter of removing all the OMGs. But first, let me clean this up. Okay, so now I've got to carefully remove all my OMGs so that I don't get fingerprints on here. So there's the first one. And maybe I bring in my tweezers, reverse tweezers. That may help me to get all of these off gently. Alrighty, friends, I got all the letters off. I'm not going to be able to reuse them, but I'm okay with that. And you may have noticed these top ones came off a lot easier than my bottom row. And that's because on these, when I took them off the sticky back peeling, I took off some of the stick by tapping it on my hand first before putting it on the paper. And I didn't do it for these, so these stuck a little more. But that's okay, it worked out. And now I need to kind of decide here. I think I'm going to use this as a matte layer, this blue one. So I'm going to cut this one down. Yeah, I'm going to cut that one down. And I'm just going to use my paper trimmer. So I'm going to cut this down by 1/4 of an inch on each side, just so that it is at 3 3/4 by 5. In fact, I might cut a little extra on this bottom one so it looks a little more even. But just making sure I'm making my little panel at 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Here we go. Okay. Now that I have that done, I'm going to make sure this one is slightly under 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I apologize. So I'm going to go at 4 1/8, and that's just because I want that white border from the card base showing. To 5 3/8. So this will be matted on the blue, like that. And then these will go on my card base here. And I'll have a little bit of a border. So let's put these together. Oh, doesn't that look cute already? So let me bring in my OMG, and I think I'm going to use this blue sentiment. Here's the darker one, but I think that reads almost as black, so I'm going to use that different blue. Trim that out. And I'm definitely going to pop up my blue OMG. So for these, I use some glitter cardstock for the main part of the letter and the outline shape, and I use some foil cardstock for the background layer. Now, I'll be sure to link to the products I've used today for my card in the description box below. But oh my goodness, yes, I love this. OMG, I love the way this card turned out. Just what I had in my mind came across to my card. Loving that. So here's the one we made on camera today. And then here is the one I made off camera. I'm loving them both. They're both really cute. I really like this one as a masculine card. Just the grays and the blues, I love it. And then this, I love it as a more feminine card. I love the pattern paper I used, and that this is nice pink, and then like pink polka dots as the outline. I think they both turned out great. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below which one you prefer. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I'd be thrilled if you subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on any of my other social media platforms. As always, have a beautiful, safe, and creative day. Thanks for watching. Bye.